Section 1. In this section, you will hear a conversation between a passenger and an airline representative discussing a flight change due to unforeseen circumstances. Listen carefully to infer details and nuances. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
Good afternoon. I was scheduled to fly to Toronto tomorrow morning, but I received an email about a schedule modification. Can you clarify?
Yes, due to adverse weather conditions, we had to reschedule flight AC 907. It will now depart at 14:45 instead of 8:30.
That's quite a delay. Are there alternative flights?
Unfortunately, all morning flights are fully booked. However, we can transfer you to flight AC 913, departing at 12:10.
That's more reasonable. Will my seat preference and baggage allowance remain unchanged?
Your seat assignment remains the same, but checked luggage over 23 kilograms will incur an extra fee.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
I hope there won't be any further changes. What about in-flight services? Will meals still be available?
Yes, meals will be provided, but the menu selection has changed due to logistical constraints. Special dietary requests need at least 48 hours notice.
Understood. Can you confirm my baggage transfer since I have a connecting flight?
As long as your flights are on the same ticket itinerary, baggage will be transferred automatically. Otherwise, you will need to claim and recheck your bags.
Thanks for the clarification. Will I be entitled to any compensation for the delay?
Since the delay is weather-related, monetary compensation does not apply, but you can receive a meal voucher.
Section 2. In this section, you will hear a psychologist discussing how urban environments impact mental health. The speaker uses technical terms and indirect references. Southwest pay close attention to implications and inferred meanings. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
While urbanization offers economic opportunities and cultural diversity, it also poses significant psychological challenges. Studies indicate that individuals residing in high-density urban areas exhibit elevated levels of cortisol, a hormone linked to chronic stress. This phenomenon, often exacerbated by constant exposure to noise pollution, results in cognitive fatigue and heightened anxiety disorders. Furthermore, the lack of green spaces and frequent social isolation create a paradox where individuals are physically surrounded yet emotionally distant. Interestingly, research suggests that neighborhood cohesion can mitigate some of these effects. Communities that foster social interactions tend to have lower rates of depression and anxiety compared to those where anonymity prevails.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
Another overlooked aspect of urban psychology is the impact of artificial lighting. Exposure to blue light emissions, particularly from electronic devices and street lamps, disrupts the body's circadian rhythm, resulting in sleep disturbances. This sleep disruption, in turn, negatively affects cognitive performance and emotional regulation. However, some cities have begun implementing adaptive lighting systems, which adjust color temperatures to simulate natural daylight, thereby minimizing melatonin suppression. While these solutions are promising, they remain costly and largely experimental. Ultimately, the future of urban mental well-being hinges on integrating green architecture, community-driven policies, and technological innovations.
Section 3. In this section, you will hear a discussion among three individuals, a tech entrepreneur, an artist, and an ethics researcher, debating the role of artificial intelligence in creative fields. Expect rapid exchanges and divergent viewpoints. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
AI-driven tools are revolutionizing the creative sector. With deep learning models, we can now generate hyper-realistic artwork, compose original music, and even write compelling novels, all within minutes.
That's precisely the problem. Art isn't just about efficiency, it's about emotion and human experience. An AI might produce an aesthetically pleasing image, but does it understand cultural significance? Creativity is rooted in subjectivity, something no algorithm can truly replicate.
Both of you raise valid points. However, we cannot ignore the ethical concerns. The dataset bias in AI models often results in culturally skewed outputs, reinforcing stereotypes rather than breaking them.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
But innovation always faces resistance. When photography emerged, painters protested, fearing the death of traditional art. Yet today, both coexist. AI-generated content will enhance human creativity, not replace it.
That's an oversimplification. A photograph captures reality, but AI-generated art doesn't observe anything. It merely reconfigures existing data. The real danger is homogenization. If AI creates unpredictable patterns, won't we lose artistic diversity?
I agree. There's also the issue of authorship. If an AI generates a masterpiece, who owns the rights? The programmer? The user? We lack legal frameworks to address such intellectual property disputes.
Section 4. This section is an academic lecture on quantum computing, explaining the fundamental differences between classical and quantum computation. Expect technical jargon and abstract concepts. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
Quantum computing leverages qubits instead of classical binary bits, allowing for superposition and entanglement. Unlike traditional computers, which process tasks sequentially, quantum processors perform parallel computations, significantly reducing algorithmic complexity. However, Quantum systems remain highly unstable, requiring cryogenic temperatures to maintain coherence.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
While quantum computing holds immense potential, it is still in its nascent stage. A major obstacle is error rates, as quantum states are prone to decoherence, where quantum information degrades due to environmental interference. Scientists are developing quantum error correction codes, but these require a significant number of redundant qubits, making large-scale quantum computing impractical, at least for now. Another challenge is algorithm optimization. Quantum computers excel at tasks like factorizing large numbers, which threatens current encryption systems, but they are not universally superior to classical machines. Practical applications will likely emerge in drug discovery, materials science, and artificial intelligence before we see widespread commercial adoption.